fractions can be bigger than 1, and when this happens, we can either write the fraction as an improper fraction or a mixed number. So let's look at this fraction here. An improper fraction has a larger numerator than denominator. So we can see that this rectangle has been divided into 6 pieces, but we have 7 pieces altogether. So as an improper fraction, we write 7 over 6. But we could also write this as a mixed number, which is a number and a fraction. So we could write 1 and 1/6 to show that we have one full rectangle and 1/6 of another one as well. So let's look at this fraction here. Each rectangle has been split into 12 parts. We have 17 parts altogether, so we can write 17 over 12 as our improper fraction. So the numerator tells us how many parts we have, and the denominator tells us how many parts each whole has been split into. So how could we write this as a mixed number? Well, we have one whole rectangle and 5/12 of another rectangle, so we have 1 and 5/12. And you might notice that though improper fractions and mixed numbers are different, the denominator is the same in both. Now, what is 2 and 3/4 written as an improper fraction? So 2 and 3/4 means 2 wholes, so 2 whole rectangles in this case, and then 3/4 of another one. And notice how I've drawn 2 and 3/4. The wholes are divided into 4 as well, it's just that all 4 pieces are coloured. That makes it easier for us to convert it into an improper fraction. We have quarters, so we know that our denominator will be 4, the same as the denominator in our mixed number. But to find the numerator, we just have to count the coloured pieces. So we have 4/4 here, another 4/4 here, and another 3/4 here. Now 4 plus 4 plus 3 is 11, so we have 11/4. Now here's a nice trick you can use to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. To find our numerator for this question, we would do 2 times 4 plus 3. So we times the whole number by the denominator. That gives us 8, so it tells us that we have 8/4 in our 2 wholes. Then we add 3, because we have 3 more quarters here. And that gives us 11, the number in our numerator. So pause the video if you need to, and see if you can write 4½ as an improper fraction. Well, 4½ means 4 wholes and 1/2. But because we can divide our wholes into halves as well, we can see that we have 9 halves here. So that's 9 over 2. But rather than always drawing out a mixed number, remember, we can multiply the whole number by the denominator and then add the numerator to find the numerator in our improper fraction. And of course the denominator is easy, that just stays the same. Now here we have something different. We start with an improper fraction. So what is 25 over 8 or 25/8 written as a mixed number? Well, let's think about what 25 over 8 means. It means if we have, for example, rectangles, that each rectangle has been divided into 8 pieces, and we have 25 pieces. So there's 8/8. Now we have 16/8. Now 24/8. So we have 24 pieces where each piece is 1/8 of a rectangle. So now we just need one more, and there we have 25/8. Now you can probably see what this is going to be as a mixed number, 3 and 1/8, because we've coloured 3 whole rectangles and 1/8 of another one. But we don't always need to draw out the improper fraction. Instead, we can use another trick. A fraction is really a division, so if we have 25 over 8, we can do 25 divided by 8. That gives us 3 remainder 1. Do you notice anything similar with 3 remainder 1 and our mixed number? Well, this tells us the whole number in the fraction, and then the remainder tells us the numerator. And remember, the denominator will stay the same. So what is 23 over 6 as a mixed number? Well, we could take 23/6 and draw it out. So there's 6/6, another 6/6, so 12/6 altogether, 18/6, and then we need 5 more 6ths to make 23/6 altogether. And then we can see that we've got 3 and 5/6 altogether. But remember, we can use division to help us. 23 divided by 6 is 3 remainder 5. So there's our whole number, there's our numerator, and the denominator stays the same.